Alright, welcome everyone to another beautiful day here in the lovely sunny Wollongong area. We have our next match up. A little bit of rain, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
We've got, introduce yourself.
I got Hayden from the Bowling Machines. And
I'm Phil from LMS Melbourne, run the Melbourne franchise. So here to walk through the number 2 ranked team in Australia, the Pascoe Whales. They've done very well over the last few years, really have climbed those rankings, and we're number 1 for a short time this year, so we'll have to see whether that ranking is legit as they come up against all the different teams, but that's going to be interesting. Marcus Murphy and Mitchell Gibbs, 2 opening batters for the Whales, absolute gun batters. But as we've seen today in these conditions, it's a different kettle of fish. Look at that, the ball just...
water everywhere.
Water everywhere. So Martin Elwood coming into bowl for, was it 8 blokes, 1 bat?
It's got a bit of pace off 2 steps.
So, great shot there, so he gets down the wicket, gets the 4 runs. So Marcus Murphy, very good player. He got to represent Victoria in the mid-year cricket association this year, so he played some LMS and some sort of winter cricket, and they chose the best players from Victoria versus the New South Wales side, so he was picked as one of the top players, so he's definitely going to be one of the guys to watch. As you can see, straight away, like, doesn't matter about the conditions, he just back-to-back boundaries.
Getting them off to a flyer.
Yeah, big opportunity here for the Whales. Obviously, only 3 Melbourne teams up here, and we've never had a champion from Victoria, so we've got the Whales, the Old Fools, and the Melbourne Elam boys, and all fancy themselves, but these guys especially.
Bit of a change up.
Yeah, slows it up. You've been watching some games today. What's your thoughts on strategies in this weather?
Definitely what we just seen there. I reckon slow balls. Slow balls are definitely the key, because I think any pace will just skid onto the bat.
It's a wide there.
And we'll just help the ball travel, because more pace the better, especially with a wet ground and slightly long grass.
So we saw the second 11 in the previous game, number 1 ranked team, score 87. What do you think is? Oh, it's a big no ball. So Mitch, he's made them pay there. So that was a huge no ball. And Mitch Gibbs, he's a former number 1 ranked batter in the Melbourne region. He's not gonna let that go.
Absolutely not.
So I got a free hit here. I think. You'll see the kitchen sink come out here. But 87, what do you think is a pass score today in these 10 overs, obviously?
10 overs?
It's a 10 over game, isn't it?
I thought it was reduced to 8.
It's 8. It's been reduced to 8. Breaking news here. 8 over games. Well, there you go.
I reckon at least 60.
60 and 8 overs. Yeah, okay. So did second 11 get 87 and 8 overs last game? So 10. it's just changed for this 10. Game. So that's the... for those watching, so 17 off that first over. That is an incredible start. This is the free hit. That's actually good bowling, so that's the best ball so far. Because the free hit carried over, that was actually Jordanwell's first ball, so pretty tough ask to bowl a free hit, your first ball in the national champs.
Definitely, and you bowl it really well.
Now, I've played against, obviously, these guys a lot of times. They do really like the leg side, so for these, hopefully the 8 blokes, 1 bat, they really need to get that ball outside off stump. You just can't bowl on the stumps to them, you can't bowl it short. We've already seen 17 in the first over. You just got to put it outside off stump. That's good, so it's full ball. Basically you've got batters galore coming in, guys with career strike rates well over 200, all going to be coming up in the next few batters.
That is good running. Rotating the stripe. can see his mate was struggling. Get himself back on strike. Hopefully get a few runs off the end of this over.
In an 8 over game, just every run is just gold, isn't it?
100%.
Oh, he's got him. Oh, beautiful bowling. He's definitely come out and bowled beautifully, Jordanwell. And he's actually taken a 1-for-1. So the first over goes for 17. And he's just come out and played absolutely a terrible shot there and in the conditions. And
Lifted his head.
Jordan Wells, he showed what you've got to do. You just got to put that ball in the right spot. And he sort of slowed it up a little bit. And he's taken a wicket. And so there's the first wicket down. And it's 19 for 1 after 2 overs.
Bit of a change in the weather. The sun's come out. Maybe that was a change.
Maybe, yeah. This is the weather. Obviously, is the biggest talking point of the national champs, and obviously incredibly disappointing to have all these teams. But as you say, we're making the most of it, and this brings in Chris Armstrong, who arguably would be the biggest hitter in the Melbourne leagues. He once hit a career high 160 off about 45 balls.
Wow.
He's an absolute big hitter, but just like everyone, he won't like that it's a spinner first up. I can tell you that. I think he would have wanted a bit more pace, but it is Mitchell Gibbs facing this first one. But yeah, slow bowling I think is definitely a key in these conditions. There we go, straight away. Oh, he's dropped it. He's put it down.
Unlucky.
Hunter Ryan comes in for his first over, first ball, and he's just he's put it in the right spot, and they've just dropped Mitchell Gibbs. That's disappointing. You've got to take every catch. An 8 over game, you literally just cannot make a single mistake, can you?
Absolutely not.
They've done so well, 17 off the first over, and then to come back, there's been 2 runs and about 6 balls. That's good bowling. That's what you want.
Very good. Like you said, kept that ball outside of stump.
I think that will be... Every team in LMS needs a good spinner, because it's just so important to have that slow bowler who can put it in the right spot. And on today's conditions, the ball's skidding on, it's going to be vital.
So many variables.
Yeah, that's really good bowling. Oh, it's called the wide. But it's the right idea. It's not putting the ball down the leg side, because that's all these batters want. They just want to get across the line and smack it right into the crowd over there watching.
Especially with the limited overs, you need as many runs as possible.
Oh, it's a full toss. Hasn't been called. And he's punched it in the gap, so in between the 2 fielders there, and gets a 4 run. That was a gift one. Unfortunately, Hunter's bowled a beautiful start, and then obviously dropped Mitchell Gibbs, and 3 balls later, he's bowled a big rank full toss. And
Relieve the pressure there, that's for sure.
so where are you from?
I'm from Bow Desert, Brisbane area, and been playing there for a few seasons now, and I think this is my first Oz champs, but even though the weather, I've been enjoying every single minute of it. We played one game yesterday.
Oh, you got to play yesterday?
We did get to play yesterday
Nice.
against who did we verse? Argy Bargies, that's right. And that was a great team to verse, great bunch of blokes. And this is even with the weather, just getting to play.
Oh, see, that's Chris Armstrong's. That's his spot there. So just you really can't bowl it there to him. I've bowled against Chris Armstrong for many years now, and he often gives you a little chance early, but once he gets going, he'll be one of the players of the tournament. I'm absolutely confident on.
Showing his stuff now.
Yeah, so 3 overs gone, 31 for 1, 5 overs left. The projected score 103. That would be huge, I think.
That is well on track to making over that 60 par.
It's just been a tale of inconsistency here. The first over just for 17. Next over was absolutely brilliant. Wicket, 1 run, and then that last over started off with the drop catch, and it just fell apart from there. So that one's going to be called a wide. But it's good to see them bringing the slow bowlers out. It's gone off the pitch, so this is a free hit. So you watch Mitch Gibbs is going to put the leg down. He's going to try and hoik this right over the crowd. Oh, he bowls another wide, so it's called a wide. So we've got the free hit carry on. So that's worth 3 runs. He's obviously trying to put it outside off stump. Just trying to see what the umpires are saying there. Yeah, you can't get stumped off a no ball. So I think he might have been out of his pitch there. There was a little bit of just double checking there. That's a good ball. That's what you want on a free hit, just outside off stump, and he couldn't get that big frame behind him. Gets the 2 runs though. Oh. Now we've got a tiniest little bit of blue sky starting to maybe poke through. It would just be just for the tournament. We'd just love to see some the rain just go away for the rest of the day. That one bounces very low.
Very low. I think that might be that ball starting to soak up that bit of water. That bounce may start to go away.
He opens up there, but he's just going to get the single. Mitchell Gibbs moving to 22. I think we were retiring at 30, I believe. We changed it with the... It was retiring at 30 with the 10 overs. I'm not sure if it's been adjusted. We will find out soon enough. So Armstrong 5 off 2. We haven't seen him go for a big one yet. It's definitely coming. Or just that low bounce. You could see it was in his spot and it just skidded along. If this rain does go away, obviously it's just going to get better for batting, which is good for the bowling side. They'll be able to come out with a drier pitch, but at 39 for 1 after 4 overs to go, they've definitely got the launching pad to get. I think they're still gonna close up between 90 and 100 unless there's some wickets. We'd like to see the number 2 bowler Jordanwell, who came in, and I'd like to see him come back in because he bowled a beautiful spell. But I think probably 2 overs each, I imagine.
They might be saving him for the end for death bowling, maybe.
Yeah, it's always a hard call when you've got your gun bowler. When do you bring him in? It's a short one. Armstrong just puts it out. Oh, a little bit of a fumble. It's just so wet out there. You can't see it on the screen, but there was just a big puddle. So as you're chasing the ball out on that outfield, you kind of have to sort of protect your body, and it's not good for stopping quickly. So pushing that second run puts a lot of pressure on the fielder.
There was a few slips we saw yesterday.
Oh, again, seeing when that it seems like the middle of the pitch it seems to be the wettest, because you're seeing the ball splash up there. So I think those bowlers should be it's sort of unusual, but I think you actually need to try and bowl it a bit shorter because it's just not bouncing very high. There's actually better bounce towards the end of the pitch, which is a little bit bizarre. There you go there. So that obviously that's a wide, but again you saw it probably too short on a normal day, but that just that died. 43 for 1. Obviously we're trying to get through 8 over games now today, just to get this tournament started. I think we've just got to hope that. Oh, that's a good ball, beautiful ball, right in the spot. It just bounces over the wicket. Probably hasn't been enough of those deliveries so far. We've just seen a bit of inconsistency, but that's the spot. Just bowl that over and over, and it's going to be very tough.
He knows he's missed out there. He wasn't happy with himself.
Oh, that's good bowling too. So this is a good little spell from Angus McCauley. He's basically bowled all the balls in the right spot. Maybe just obviously a wide in there, but still getting the runs. 44 for 1 after 4.4, very good.
It's more than 10 an hour.
that spot. So that is,
I think you're on to something there, Phil.
yeah. So coming in next, the next batter coming in is actually former world number 1 all-rounder, former number 1 bowler, Adil Hussain, who has played all over the world and in the last couple of years actually moved to Melbourne. So he's been obviously a huge coup for teams that have managed to secure his services, and he's teamed up with the Wales here. So he'll be he'll be itching to play. He's a very elegant batter, and obviously he's still ranked in the top 10 in the world. And his bowling on this pitch it'll be absolutely brutal to face when you see him bowling in about 20 minutes. But Mitch Ryan coming in now. So they've all gone 1 over spells, which is interesting strategy. They haven't brought anyone back yet.
Just waiting on a few field changes.
Looks like a slow bowler again.
I think 8 Blokes have clocked onto that.
I think he should just try and bowl a few half trackers, which is bizarre for a spinner. But I think he's bowled him. Oh, brilliant stuff.
First
so
ball.
Didn't listen to me. Bowled a nice full ball, and first ball Mitch Ryan takes a big wicket, and that's the end of Mitchell Gibbs. Great little innings though. He certainly set the foundation there, and 23 off 17.
Still handy knock, especially in these conditions.
So, but it does bring in Adil Hussain. So there's no reprieve for the 8 Blokes, 1 bat guys. There's no batter that's going to come out here and not try and belt it. They've all got that pedigree of smashing balls, and I think the Wales record is pretty phenomenal this year. I can't remember the last time they've actually lost a game. I'll have to check the stats and see if they have lost a game this year. I'm not sure if they have. It's been a pretty phenomenal rise through the ranks. They started off in probably 4 or 5 years ago, and played in the winter comp, and then last year decided to join the summer ranks. And yeah, it's just been they won the Melbourne Champions League in a classic final in April. Fantastic. So a few little stats on the both of these teams. Pascoe Wales, number two in Australia, so they're obviously number 2 ranked team after the second 11, but number 8 in the world. With the 8 Blokes, 1 bat, little bit different, 1299th in the world. So it is on paper the Wales have a huge advantage. The Wales, this is the career record, which is pretty amazing. So the Pascoe Wales have played 63 games. They've only ever lost 7, so a winning ratio of 83.58%. So, whereas looks like 8 Blokes, 1 bat, reasonably new side. 21 games, have won 12, lost 9, but yeah, this is world number 8. This is world number 1299, and still, I think it's been a pretty awesome effort by the bowling side here in these conditions. They, after that first over, went for 17. You really thought it was going to be, it could have gone haywire, but they're holding on. The rain is coming down again though.
Definitely adjusted well.
This has been good bowling, Mitch Ryan.
Still keeping with that very full length. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The rain's starting to come down now. It's starting to get heavier.
So I think those are really good over. So if we look at the bowling stats, there's been 2. Obviously the first over, Elwood went none for 17, and then Hunter Ryan none for 12. But everyone else, we've got Jordanwell, who bowled that beautiful second over, 1 for 1, and we've got Mitch Ryan, who just bowled then, 1 for 3, and Angus bowling 0 for 4. So they've kept themselves in the game with only 2 overs to go, 48 for 2. The projected score 2 or 3 overs ago was 103. Now it's down to 80, so this has been a good little comeback. Oh, look at that. So that ball has just skidded, completely skidded along the ground. It was 5 centimetres off the ground. And he's tried to get a stumping, some very clever keeping there by number 43. It was excellent. So this is Macaulay's second over. Oh, look at that shot. And it's just gone through. That was straight to the fielder, and that's the first boundary in a long time. Yeah, so that's disappointing when you're working so hard as a team to restrict the runs, and then you get one that's just, it's absolutely awful conditions for fielding, but still, got to get that body behind, just get down on the ground and it's a national champs. It's time to put your body behind it and play for your mates, but that gets Christopher off to 16 off 11. Oh, this one's straight in the air. Oh no! Oh, that's another drop catch. You're probably catching 10 out of 100. He was running backwards over his head in pouring rain.
Rain in his eyes. So
Yeah, maybe 1 out of 100. I 100% would not be able to catch that one. So it is a drop. It's been a couple of drops. Probably the one of Mitchell Gibbs early on was an easy one, but that one was very tough. Let's see if Adil Hussain now. Adil Hussain loves the reverse sweep, and I won't be surprised if he tries one. Ask the umpire what's going on here. No wide called. Interesting.
Saying he's clipped his leg.
Yep.
He is keeping to that back of the length where that water's been splashing up.
So I've only got 6 balls left, 53 for 2. This has been a great comeback. Just to see how it goes. Yeah, I think there is the only unfortunate thing for the 8 Blokes 1 bat is they are going to have to come out and bat against obviously Adil Hussain's 2 overs. He's obviously one of the world's best LMS bowlers, and that's going to be just incredibly difficult in these conditions. But they've given themselves a great chance. So I wonder.
Anyone on their day.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you, this is a huge call. So they brought back Martin Elwood, who bowled that first over for 17. Jordanwell, who bowled 1 for 1, has not been given this last over. So I would want to make sure that maybe the team know that it's an 8-over game, because it just doesn't seem like maybe. But obviously you got to have faith in your bowler. But I would have brought back Jordanwell, so yeah, he was phenomenal. Armstrong. Here we go. This has gone straight up. Could this be a 6 or a catch, or it's no? It's like a pitching wedge.
It's split between the 2 fieldsmen.
Loves his golf, does Chris. So would have been about a 45-metre pitch. Just flopped right onto the green.
Slow ball.
Conditions are deteriorating right now. It is the rain is really starting to come down for these last 3 balls as they reach 56 for 2.
The leading edge.
This is a good over though. Like, they took a punt on Elwood. He got pumped in the first over, and he's done well with just. Now Chris Armstrong, he's the all-time leading home runs scorer for Melbourne, and if this is the last ball of the inning, let's see if we can get another one here. Good bowling. I think they need to push it. Oh, they don't. Oh, they should have just run there. That was an easy too.
Good keeping. All backed up.
So just trying to see what's happened here, because obviously we got told that it was an 8-over game. Let's. There may have been a change to that. We're all obviously all just following. So it looks like maybe we are doing the 10 overs. We haven't had that communicated, but that's so it kind of makes sense now why Elwood bowled that over and Jordanwell. So I think this will be, this is Jordanwell's now. So he was my pick of the bowlers, and he'll be looking to tighten up here. So, alright, so if we've got a 10 over game, then 2 more overs to go. I still think overall, we've got after the start, it's been a really good comeback by 8 Blokes.
That's for sure.
Oh! That is, he's tried to hit it down the leg side. It's gone about 10 metres to the in the opposite direction. As the keeper slides and picks that up.
I think he's making the most of the wet at the moment. Seen a few slides from him.
Armstrong, he really wants to hit a 6, you can see him. There he goes. Oh! Nah. So that one's just fallen about 50 centimetres short of the player there. Very tough, those ones where you're leaning in for the catch.
But in the end, I guess that's safe 4 runs. That's probably what's going through his mind at the moment.
Come on, reverse sweep. Come on, a deal. There's always one. Every innings there's one.
That's
good bowling.
Well bowled again, 2 doubles in a row.
Just having a look at Jordanwell's stats. Like, he's obviously 1 for 4 off 2. He's taken 12 wickets in his career at a beautiful average of 22.83. Looks like definitely a very, very good player. Career best 3 for 22. He should be really proud of what he's done today against the world number 8 side. He's come out and definitely been the pick of the bowlers. So this will be the last over. So at 63 for 2, I think they'll be looking for at least 10 runs off this over. Oh my goodness.
There goes the bat.
The bat has flown out of his hand as he runs the 2. And he does some sort of dance there at the end.
Going through the ribbon at the finish line. I think the bat nearly went as far as the ball then. Might need to change your gloves.
Oh, it's in the gap. I think they'll just run. Oh, it's gone. Keep going. It's a big boundary. This is the last over. That will bring Chris to 27. If he does get another boundary, though, it will bring in a new batter, which is probably an advantage for the 8 Blokes guys. You don't want Chris facing that home run ball. 69. Nice. So just 3 balls left. Have you seen many 6s today?
I haven't seen any yet. Not
There's
today.
been 2, so 2 6s today in the day, which is, think about all the LMS we play, how it's just dominated by 6s, but man, when you take that, when the rain decides to come, it's taken that away, but I don't know, I'm picking one here. I'm picking the 3rd one. I'm picking the 3rd 6 of the day, of this over.
Hey, Blokes, so using the power play here, 4 on the leg side.
Yeah, that's a good call, because it's been very... I mean, he hasn't looked like wanting to hit it out to the offside unless it was an accident, really. Here we go. 3rd 6 of the day. No, that was a big full...
Missed out there too.
Big full toss. He would have been dreaming of that. He just... I think the bowler's been putting it... Mitch Ryan's been putting it in a nice length, and he just, as a spinner myself, every so often you're going to let one... get through on the full toss, and he'll be filthy with himself. So 2 balls left, 71 for 2. him!
Got him.
So that's the, it's flicked off his hand and it's gone straight into the stumps, and Adil Hussain has to walk, so he's been caught out at the non-striker's end, and I mean, it does mean that Chris will face this last ball here, so it's not too much in the context of the game, but yeah, one of those very unlucky run-outs where you're out of your crease. One of the big questions for today is anyone going to be willing to do a perfectly legal mancad? That's because there is now, we can't say it's against the spirit of the game. It is just a normal part of cricket now, and I think
That's right, it is in the rules.
And I think I'm going to put a bounty. I'm going to give $50 to the first person who successfully does one.
Anyone listening out there, any players?
Come and see me, Phil Callaghan. I'll give you $50 if you do a successful one. Last ball. Here we go.
He's going for it.
This is the home run. It is.
There
It's a
we
home
go.
run.
Home run to finish it. First one of the tournament.
That is incredible. I picked it, didn't I? I did say there was going to be a 6 in that over. Third one of the tournament, and that is a huge 12 to finish.
That is worth a double.
I attempted to mancad him 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's been some reports of some attempted mancads before the rule change, but it actually changed in the last few days. But that was a huge end. So Chris Armstrong ends up with 41 off 21. And he was definitely one of my picks for player of the tournament, and he's shown it here today in his first game, 41 of 21. And that's so unfortunate for the 8 Blokes guys, because they actually they really looked like they were going to be reducing them to maybe under 70 or even 65 at some point. And I think at 10 overs, you just give yourself a chance. Oh, home run.
I feel they did an amazing job, but just that home run at the end really does hurt.
Home runs and LMS are just can change an entire. When you're playing a regular 20 over game and it's they're on 156 or something, and they get that 12 and suddenly it's 168. Just psychologically, everything about it just.
Massive difference. Massive difference.
So they're doing some work on the pitch right now. Look, there was about a 2 or 3 over gap between no rain, but it's lightly raining right now. I'll be interested to see. Obviously, Adil Hussain, he'll be one of the quickest bowlers we'll see at the Nationals, but I do think he will probably just come off a few steps. I imagine he can still rip it. I've seen him absolutely rip it off 3 or 4 steps, but I don't think this is the sort of wicket where you can be steaming in off your maximum 12 steps, and it's just too dangerous.
I feel running in at that sort of a length, you wouldn't be thinking about where you wanted to put the ball. You'd be wanting to think about the landing.
Absolutely.
As a bowler, you just can't be doing that.
So just we're going to have a look and see some of the picks for the old 8 Blokes guys. There's Mitch Ryan, who actually bowled that last over. He looks like one of the pick of the batters with a career average of 58.81.
That's a very handy average.
It sure is.
Especially retiring at 50 and still having an average of over 50.
What's your average?
You don't want to know. It's not that great.
One of the beauties of LMS is the stats. We just live for the stats, and it creates a lot of intrigue, the world rankings, and obviously, I don't know how your team's going, but we were in the bus today with the old fools who we've obviously played all over the world now, and we were looking at some of our career stats. One of the lovely new features on the LMS website is if you click on it on the team, you can now see your career stats just for that team. So a lot of us play for a bunch of teams in our careers, but it was nice. We had a little compare to see who was the all-time run scorer for our team, and we realised that it was one of our guys, Tenzin Grieve's 100th game today, so that's at 4:15, and yeah, it's so brilliant, all that online stats, and it just really sort of adds that extra layer to why LMS is just so successful, and keeps growing, and hopefully we can just finish this tournament with good weather and lots, obviously all the games played, We just need some of these other fields to hopefully dry out. Behind the scenes, there's just so much work going on, and it's obviously been an incredible effort to manage an unbelievable amount of rain over Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We've got one field, and we're getting 8 games in today, and hopefully tomorrow, if they can just open, we can just find a few more and get all the games, and then get to that finals day, which has a really good weather forecast, and hopefully we can finish this off and
Crown ourselves a champion.
yeah.
Going back to...
Have you got any chance, your team?
Oh, well, Bowie Bashir's made quarterfinals last year, so I'm not exactly...
That was the only Queensland teams, wasn't there? Was it last year or the year before?
That was last year.
Yeah,
yes.
so last year when we had that, so that's pretty good for those teams. Obviously, this is the first nationals with, with like teams from out of state.
Yes.
The Old Falls, my team, the last two championships, we were booked in to go, but we weren't allowed. We weren't allowed out of our prison in Victoria. So
all the rules and regulations.
yeah, it's been a wild few years.
Yes.
I know for the people watching this in Melbourne, it's been, we've had just an unbelievable amount of cancelled games. We just have been through so much. We play all year round, but this is our summer comp starts this Sunday, and it's the first time since 2019 that we can actually start our summer comp on time, because we have been in lockdown from September, October, November for the last 3 years, which has just made it so hard, and it's been awesome to see teams like the Wales and the Ewan boys, the Old Falls, just stick around and stick through it, because we did lose a lot of teams. It's just one of the effects of COVID. People just they moved out of Melbourne. They moved. They stopped living close to the city, and all these sort of factors. So we're in a bit of a rebuilding phase in Melbourne, but it's very exciting to finally start a summer for the very first time in in so many years.
That would be very exciting.
And just another fact, it's actually beautiful weather in Melbourne this weekend, so sunshine every day, about high of 19, 20 degrees, but not a drop of rain between now and basically the next 3 or 4 days. So if we could all just get in the cars and go down to Melbourne, we could get this show on the road. 8 hours, what do you reckon?
I reckon it's worth a chance. But I think all the hard work behind the scenes, like you said, trying to get as many fields as we can. I think we just go back and hope that the clouds clear and the rain stops, and we have a bit of sunshine, bit of wind to help dry the fields out, and like you said, towards the end of the comp, there's a bit better weather. So just trying to get all these games in, like you said, all these group stage games.
Alright, so JJ Burton, he's going to face the first ball. Now Marcus Murphy, he's again going to be very, very good bowler. As I said earlier, got picked for the Victorian mid-year cricket team, so he's just going to come off a few steps, and he's a very good bowler at just putting it in the right spot. Won't deviate too much from the plan, and he'll be hard to hit here, as you can see. So I've got Mitch Ryan and JJ Burton opening the bat here.
I need to start getting some runs on the board very quickly. I think run rate was over 10 and over, or close to 8, I think.
Oh, it's a nice shot. So he's just put that down the leg side, and
4 runs.
yeah, that's a good start. So we saw what happened in the Pascoe, 17 runs off that first over, and it just really set up the innings. It got a bit quiet there in the middle, but they finished strong. I think you really just have to make a good start. You just absolutely cannot be bogged down, literally bogged down. you'll just fall behind too quickly, and it's going to, like the bowling that's coming, you're going to see some very tight bowling. But it's a good little start. You're going to take every run that's on offer.
That's right, rotating the strike, very key. No dot balls.
I think we're all a bit excited to see how Adil Hussain bowls too. You know, you've got someone he was number one ranked in the world for years. Like he's been phenomenal. So I know
Very good resume.
it's everyone wants to see what the best looks like. So he's definitely one of the best, and we'll see how he goes. He's played for a few different teams, the Spider Monkeys, and obviously played for England over in the World Series. So not bad first over, 8 runs from that one. And here we go, I think, Adil Hussain is picking up the ball. So
Speaking of him,
I will be interested to see what kind of steps he comes off. I imagine it'll just be maybe 4 or 5, and just he'll be looking to, you want to, I played with him a lot and obviously played against him, but you definitely need a fine leg and a third man just because of those edges. As we see
now already.
Yeah, Ryan Benici, he's moved over to third man. Here he is. So he's come off about 4 steps there, and I don't think anyone else today has got that sort of bounce. That was a big wide to start with, but it was straight away that actually bounced over his head on a wet pitch. So this is going to be, it's actually a bit of a test for Adil too, like, because he's really got to he's got to find what's going to work. Like, it's different conditions to what he's used to, so let's see how he adjusts. And it's another wide. Now he's a popular fella, Adil, but also he rocks people up. So you can see people will definitely. He's one you love to hate. So there's a few cheers. There's a couple of wides there, and it's all done in fun. But he'll be the first to tell you how good he is, and so this goes for 5 off his first couple of balls here. That's another wide, so this is 3 wides in a row, and you can hear the cheers from the crowd. So,
Could it be the short run up?
yeah, it's definitely, that's the thing. And this is where you start getting inside your own head, isn't it? You start thinking, so he's having a look, he's thinking, what am I doing wrong?
Just got to block out the outside noise.
That's 8 runs off us over already. No one can touch the bat. There we go. So he came back. He really didn't try and bowl that fast. He's just come in and pitched it full, and
Just trying to hit the top off stump.
yeah. So it's a pretty good start here. They'll be very happy with that. There's been 1 genuine 4, but there's been some free runs as he leaves that one.
Leave.
So no wide called there.
Can't be doing too many of those. Especially in the 10 over game.
Tell you what, at the beginning of this game, if you said, you'll have one of the world's top LMS bowlers come in and you'll take him for 10 off your first over, you would have 100% said, we will take that all day.
Definitely.
So,
I would be for sure.
yeah.
Not too many people would say no to that.
So pretty impressive. They're actually ahead of the run rate. So we're at required run rate 8.25, 66 off the 40 balls, but the run rate is 9. So it's a good start. This brings in Ryan Benici. Pretty similar to sort of Murphy. He's going to just come in off a few steps. He's a pretty quick bowler. He's slowed down a little bit over the last few years, but he's very consistent. He'll be looking to bowl him or LB. So he gets the...
No footwork there.
No footwork at all.
Needs to be stepping across to those. Can't be poking under.
loves an appeal too, so I
As you can see there, yeah.
think that's Neil Smith umpiring today. I think. Maybe? No, I'm not sure actually. Pete Bellman, if you're watching, let me know. Here we go, this is straight in the air, but this is going to fall short as young Corey Flavel just picks it up. This is probably the best weather we've had for a few hours now, so there was some pretty bad rain towards the end of the innings, but we've actually got multiple patches of blue sky. That one might have been going down for a wide, and he sort of chased it, and Bonici's got away with it there. So this is a good start by Ryan, just one run. And this is the thing in a 10-over game. You just got to make sure you just every over you're ticking it over, because you can get behind so quickly. So they'll be wanting a boundary here. They just take the single. So that's a brilliant over there, Bonici. Just 2 runs, and 21 after 3. So JJ Breton started well with 14, and they're trying 6 off 9 balls. So what are they going to do here? So I think, is the deal going to come in again? Yeah, so it's a big call to, you've only got your 2 overs allowed per bowler, so you're sort of putting some of your eggs in one basket early. It's a forever gamble. You sort of your strike bowler not having him at the end there, so we'll have to see how this plays out. He's starting to look like that was his best ball so far by Adil Hussain. He is a rhythm bowler, so he hates bowling one and then stopping, so I bet you he would have said to Captain McManus, just keep me on, Skip, I'll come right. He's pushed it in the gap there, but that would have been a 4 anywhere, any day of the week, anywhere, except for here today. It's just gone straight into a puddle, and they've taken a couple of runs.
Yeah, definitely the most reward you're going to get is the aerial route here, but that comes with the most risk.
Single. Should probably talk about my TikTok.
Your TikTok?
Yeah, so just quietly started. So in lockdown 2020, started a Last Minute Stand to Melbourne TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Just quietly coming up to 8.5 million views on my videos.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably become the single most successful social media account of any social media of all LMS. It's absolutely ridiculous. People really like the failure rather than the success, though. So we've got a video of, a big guy falling over or doing something silly, dropping a catch or coming off his head or something. That's, you're going to get 500,000 views. If you've got a guy hitting a beautiful straight drive 6, it's going to get 1,000 views. So it does celebrate the failures a little bit. So Dilby Sang comes in. It's been a much better over. But yeah, just follow it, LMS Melbourne. Probably going to make one now. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're just. It is hard walking down the street. Obviously, like I get harassed, and the kids are just like, oh my gosh, you're that guy from TikTok. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But
getting selfies and autographs, that's right.
Yeah, everywhere I go, it's just. But it's just one of the things that comes with being a celebrity, and I can't believe it's been 14 overs, and I haven't mentioned that I am one of the official legends of LMS.
Wow.
Just quietly, don't like to blow my own trumpet. More of a sort of an orchestra.
Yep.
Like to blow my own orchestra with multiple instruments. But no, I've been playing since 2009. So I played in the first leagues in Wellington, in New Zealand, and then came over to Melbourne. And one of my actual biggest TikToks was when I was trying to get my 500th LMS wicket. And I had a lot of failure around that time. Got the yips. There were 6 drop catches on 499, including Sean Kennedy, captain of the Old Falls, who that one got 500,000 views, but when I finally got it, yeah, it's worth seeing. It got spread around, almost 1 million views. I took my shirt off like Ronaldo, ran around the field. It's definitely worth checking out. It made a few different sort of social media accounts around the world. As we get into the fifth over here, Chris Armstrong obviously batted beautifully, 41 off 21.
I'll definitely have to follow that.
Okay, you'll be famous. LMS World Champs. I'm just putting a TikTok up right now, so this is it.
Dancing down the wicket, straight down the ground for the one. I'm definitely going to have to accelerate this run rate sooner or later.
55 off 27, yeah. Like, they made a great start. It's one big over, could turn it around.
No wickets lost.
Oh, he tries a bit of a, oh, it's a wide. At least he got away with it, like a sort of reverse paddle.
Trying to target that very short boundary. Only bowling from the one end today.
Yeah. Starting to feel a little bit more positive about the weather. It's just there's a slight hint of warmth to that sunshine now.
I was about to say, I need to take a jumper off soon. The last ball of the over. You see drying the ball with the towel after every delivery. Slow ball. Well bowled. Right in the block hole there. Just for the single.
So it's a halfway point, so 32, it's amazing what a difference that home run made, because they could be looking at, you know, it was looking at that 68 or whatever it was, 70, and then that 12 run difference. It's just proved the difference in this chase so far, and obviously they can cancel that out by getting the home run on the last ball and win it all, which would, you know,
Right.
I have seen that multiple times, and it's obviously one of the great achievements you can do in LMS is win a game on the last ball with a home run.
We're going nuts if we see that. Yeah, like we were saying, we've got 8 in the shed, waiting to bat. Definitely need to start going here, looking for those boundaries.
It's a big
Big
appeal. So this is Corey Flavelwood, one of the younger members of the Pascoe Wales. He's been forever 16 for us, but I think he might have finally. I think he's almost 19, 20 now. He still looks like a young fella. He follows me on TikTok. He actually makes he tries to make real TikToks of him like dancing and stuff. It's quite hilarious. Doesn't get anywhere near the views I get though.
No, he still hasn't learned from the best, obviously. Showing a bit of intent there, dancing down the wicket. Straight to the field from there. Would have gone for 4.
Here we go. Do you want
Big
to?
swing, no deep.
I'll show you this overview. If you get on LMS and find the 500 wicket, this is it. There you go. Another great pieces of.
There you go.
All right, Flavelwood coming in. Oh, big full toss. This could be
There we go.
Adil Hussain. Don't slip over. No, he picks that up. So they only get the one run there. So that was a rank full toss down leg side. You just need to flick that and
Got away with it again. Seen a couple of full tosses this game, none have been put away.
oh, that's a good ball. I think they're trying to be a bit too cute there. was a good ball, a little bit of extra pace, and that's another good over for the Whales. So the Whales are firmly on top now, and
Only 2 from
yeah, I think it's going to need to. I guess the one thing when you're chasing is you're always in the back of your mind, if you are far behind, you've always got to think you've still got that home run. So if we can just, even if you get to that last over and you need 20, 22, all it takes is 10 off those first 4 balls and then bam, home run win. And we've seen it time and time again, but you just can't get yourself too far behind. 4 overs to go, 50 runs, that's 50 off 20 balls.
You just got to get there. You got to give yourself that chance.
Mitch Ryan has 14 off 19, so that's probably obviously a bit slow here, and he needs to sort of make a decision what he's going to try and do. Yeah, it's a good slower ball by Armstrong, so he's just put that in the back of the hand, and yeah, these guys are starting to show their class, and yeah, they're living up to their ranking so far, number 2 at this champs, number 8 in the world. Good ball.
Went to look for that short boundary again. Changed his shot in delivery.
So Mitch Ryan, 14 off 19. He really has to just break these shackles here. If they've got any chance. He's tried a few sort of cutesy shots. I think he just needs to just swing from the hip.
Needs to back himself.
But it is hard. We say that. I'm going to go out and I'm playing at 4:15. I'm sure I'll be terrible with the bat.
like you said, it's easy. Like we can say, it's easier said than done. It's easy to say you can do it from behind the boundary.
Good bowling. Just really good bowling.
Well, it's flicked away.
Oh, that's actually... Oh, what a good shot.
That's
Oh,
right.
Adil Hussein, he just sort of, what a great shot. So it looked like just a really good sort of full length ball, and finally Mitch Ryan, he just sort of flicked it off, and considering how slow the outfield is, it looked like that was a single, but it was just hit so beautifully that it just bounced and kept going, and there's a very much needed boundary. Just would love to sneak another one this over. This is the last ball of Chris Armstrong's spell.
That'll relieve some of the pressure coming from the long side.
Oh, he's going to give it a chance. It's in
That's
the gap again. Back-to-back 4s. So there we go. Very important. So Mitch Ryan started that over at 14 off sort of 19 balls, and he's ended the over at 22 off 22. So he's done what he's needed. He's hit a couple of boundaries, and with 3 overs to go, 41 runs. He's thrown the home run in there. The game is definitely not over. And remember, Adil Hussein, he's bowled out his overs. You've got the number one, one of the all-time great bowlers of LMS. He can't bowl anymore, so you never know. It's
That's right.
all these guys will back themselves. Corey Fleverwood, very good bowler. He'll back himself here.
Just from the end of that last over, I need to keep that intent.
There's just a absolutely massive pelican flying over the ground, probably thinking this is a lake. This is the big over, really. If they've got any chance, Corey, he only went for 2 off this first over, so this is just going to have to be a big over. And obviously, as a fan of cricket, we want to see it come down to the last ball. As a fan of obviously these guys, being Melbourne, running the Melbourne franchise, I want to see our Melbourne teams do very well. We've got 2 other Melbourne teams playing this afternoon. We've got the Melbourne Elam boys. Very good side. They've won multiple titles over the last 3 or 4 years, and they'll be one of the sides to watch.
Very exciting.
Watch that, and then obviously one of the most favourite teams probably in LMS are the Old Fools. The Old Fools are been incredibly lucky to play all over the world. We're talking Barbados 2015.
Barbados.
Played in Cape Town, Thailand, Bali, New Zealand. We had a planned trip to Kenya in 2020. Obviously, that was scrapped, but looking to go back there. But probably the most travelled team in LMS around the world. We've been incredibly lucky. We've played at some of the most amazing venues in all the world, and played up against test match players and you know, like we obviously we do all right. We get some good wins, but you know, we definitely win the battle off the field as well.
Well, when you say most travelled, I reckon you're onto something there. That's for sure. In every way.
Oh, it's a good
Bang.
shot. That's a beautiful shot there. So JJ Burton just sort of flicks that off his thigh there, and bam. That's so, you know, in the last few balls, last 6-7 balls, there's been 3 boundaries, and all they're doing is they're giving themselves a chance, and that's what you want. It's 10 over game. Just give yourself a chance. I said earlier on, if you can even get to that last over, just needing 20, you're in with a shot. We saw what Chris Armstrong did. 1 home run. Just a little bit of tension just starting to build here. The 8 Blokes guys will just be ruining the first and last over of their bowling innings. Oh, it's a big full toss again. Is that going to be called? No, they're only around the 1 there. It hasn't been called a no ball. Probably the right call. It was one of those marginal ones, but it was a big filthy full toss. I was just seeing, for some reason, time and time again today, no one is able to put away these full tosses. You can't blame the rain for that. It's just I think sometimes when it's like a kid in a candy store, there's just too much candy, and when that big full toss comes, it's just you're overwhelmed.
That's right. You're expecting it to bounce, and then it comes at you like a baseball on the full. You don't expect it half the time, and as we've seen, no one's expected it today. A few fielders swapping, moving around.
So we've got 2 overs to go, 34 runs. So you really think that this over here has to be 14 runs to have a chance. So, but Marcus Murphy, he's hard to hit. Oh, he tries. Well, he gets it wide. Okay.
Missing leg stump.
No wickets, so that is one of the advantages. There's been no wickets, but there's nothing worse than being the number 3 batter, where you just feel tense, and you know that when he goes out there, he's going to have to try and hit a 6 from the very first ball, and it's such a tough thing to do for any cricketer of any level, as he just puts the...
Hit hard.
it's very slow out there, and it's gone for 4, so that's a big boundary in the context of this game. And JJ Burton, I think that will be his retiring, and that is going to be 31 off 20. Great little innings there. Great stuff, JJ. I think they've
switching the order around.
Yeah, switching the order around. I guess it's just
Situation.
it's lambs to the slaughter. It's so hard. You can't give yourself a ball to get in. You just have to be like, hope we can get another couple of boundaries this over and just bring it down to that last ball. Just think about that last ball. It's all I'll be saying to my batter. Good ball. Just run hard. They've got to run harder. It is hard. It is very slippery. But there was 28 runs required.
Sorry, it's important to back up. Well, we did see a run out first innings.
That was a pretty unique run. Still got that. I've got my $50 bill in my pocket for the Mancad. There's a Del Hussein runs in just to pick that up. Easily picks that up, and it's just going to be a single. So we're looking at 27.
6 would be very
Oh,
handy.
it just has to happen. Poor Elwood, he's faced one ball, and it's just so tough.
Back yourself.
Oh, this is a bit of a chance. Look at this go. It's 4 byes, and he gets the result. Not how they wanted. You will take any runs like that. That is a free 4 runs. Gets it to 23. Now, I've been saying it the whole time, just get to 20 off that last over, and you've always got a chance. So, One more to go.
Even the 6 here again. I'll keep saying it. Slow ball.
I think they've got to run. They've got to run harder than that. Run harder. That's old path. Path slower than a rhinoceros. Path Meccano. And they take the 2. Yeah, all day on that arm. 21 runs, 5 balls. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be Benici. Ryan Benici's going to have the ball. Which Ryan, he's sort of, look, he's done what he needed to do. He supported JJ, who was obviously hit some big boundaries and got the 30 off 21 balls. And look, he's 24 off 24, but in the context, it's pretty good. But again, you just think about that home run, what a difference that has caused. They would only be needing sort of 12, like I've said about it in maths, mate, a 9. They would only need 9 runs without that home run. It's just, they have to cancel it out with their own home run. I want it to come down to the last ball here. It's in the gap. They've got to run 2. They've got to run 2. It's a good start. Big overthrow maybe. No.
It's hard to stop and turn when it's all wet on that pitch. Don't want to be slipping over. 19
off 4 balls. Can they get to needing 12 off that last ball? And will Benici be able to just hold them out? He's going to be looking to just. I don't think he'll try and bowl it too quick here. I think he's just going to hold it back a little bit. There you go. He's holding it back. He really is. He's just trying to bowl simple line and length. I don't think he's not thinking about bowling anyone. All he's thinking about doing is just putting it out a little bit outside off stump, good length, and he's obviously a very good bowler. He's putting it into the batter's mind here. What can he do?
6 of these next 2 balls.
Oh, he takes a huge swing, and it's hard for him. He's just come in 3 balls, so 18 off 2 balls. Can we do the double 6? Have you ever done the 6-12 combo to finish a game?
Well, I haven't done that. No, I have hit a home run off 1 ball.
Well done. Well done.
So I'd love to see this right now. The crowd will be going off of that.
We'd love to see it just as fans of the game. Oh, good bowling. Well, there is a very famous story from Queensland many years ago where there was, I think it was about 20 needed off 1 ball, and a bloke came in and bowled 2 massive rank full tosses that both were hit for 6, and it was 24 or 25 off those last 2 balls in 1. So you never know. But he does it, and that is a big win for the Pascoe Whales. They've done very well today. It was a great effort by 8 blokes, considering they're ranked 1299th in the world. They had times in this game where they really put the pressure on the Whales, and they can definitely hold their heads up high. But the Whales, I think,
they did well today.
Showed their class, and as a knockout, the Whales will move on to the main draw, and 8 blokes will go down to the end. Thank you for watching.